Hello everybody, welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 4.5. We are here on my home island, right at the very back, just getting a little bit more work done on this clay pad that we have down here. So a few things have changed around here since last time, the main one being this here. So this is just kind of a rough scaffold for what this volcano is going to end up looking like. So as you can see, it's kind of got a little bit of a curve in it. So we've got quite a few layers left to go. We may end up needing more limestone because I think we're going to run out before we get all the way up there. We're also definitely going to have to get rid of this island here because that is going to be in the way of this volcano. I've also done just a small amount of clearing out in here. That's just another thing I want to get to today. I want to get into this area and clear all this stuff out and build a brand new portal room in here. It'll be a good start for the episode. And yeah, like I said, I want to kind of keep going with this volcano, but this is the general idea of where we're going with all of this stuff. So definitely before the end of today, I want to have at least 4 of these things done. So these just kind of scaffolding ideas of where we're going. Just one off each of the middles of these things so that we've kind of got an idea and we've got a bit of a template for how we're going to build this thing up. Oh, the other quick thing that I've done over here is I've just done a little bit of clearing out over at the portal area, sorry, the airship area. So we're going to end up clearing all of this back and turning this into its own little island, and we're going to probably build some stuff around here, kind of fence this in a little bit so people don't go wandering off the edge and all of that kind of stuff. So this is the plan for this kind of area, and then we've got all of this work that we're going to be doing as well today. So I'm just going to wait for the sun to come back up because this gets quite dark around here when it's nighttime, and then we'll keep going and do some more stuff. So I use that nighttime to just kind of fill in a little bit more clay around the back here. So as you can see, we've kind of got this little corner done over that nighttime, and still a little bit to go, but we're getting there. It's very, very close to being completely done, which is awesome. So the other thing I just very quickly wanted to show you is down in here. Over the past week I've been doing some farming to get the farming tutorial up and running that you guys should have seen. It's been on the channel for a couple of days now. And what this has actually meant is that I have ended up with a whole bunch of iron, which is really good. So we've now got just over a stack of iron blocks, which is perfect because we're actually going to be building some gigantic iron statues out the front here. So this volcano is obviously going to be really, really tall, but what I want to do on top of that is to build some statues somewhere out the front here, one kind of on either side, protecting and guarding this thing. And they're going to be kind of 20 blocks tall, so they're going to be pretty damn tall compared to everything else that's going on around here. But of course they're going to be dwarfed by the absolutely gigantic volcano that we're going to build up through the middle here. So I just want to quickly go around and kill some of these animals. I really still need to work out the spawn conditions of all of these because I really do want to kind of keep them contained as much as possible and make sure that when I finally finish this island off, I don't have any animals just kind of wandering around on their own, because it doesn't really work too well for a wastelands to have chickens and fennec foxes running around in it. It's supposed to be more of a kind of dead area, so that's what we're going to go for. We might end up finding out what happens when we cage these things up and then build a cage for them somewhere, probably just off out here where we're going to put some buildings. We might even do up a little like kitchen or something, like a little restaurant area that's got live chickens and fennec foxes kind of caged up out the back. It might be a little bit dark though, so I don't know, we'll see. We'll kind of work out if caging them is even possible to start with, and if it is, then we will definitely do that, just so that these little guys aren't kind of free roaming all over the island, because it's not what I want at this point in time. So I think right now I'm going to grab out some more blindstone and I'm going to get this kind of scaffolding set up at the 4 other edges that I want it set up, just so that we can kind of step back and have a bit of a look at how big this volcano is going to be and what type of shape we're actually going to end up getting out of this thing. So yeah, I'm going to put that together and then we'll have a look at that. So I've now finished up those pillars, but I haven't actually turned around and had a look at this yet. So this is going to be the kind of first look at the shape of the volcano that we're going to do. So if we turn around together, oh, look at that. That is going to be awesome. That is going to be perfectly volcano shaped. That is exactly what I wanted this to look like. Oh, this should be amazing. But as I was saying before, I am definitely going to need to find more blindstone. I still have almost a chest full over there in my chest that I'm using to store all of my materials for this build, but I honestly don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, look at this. This is going to be absolutely huge. I mean, I don't know, we'll see. As we go up through the layers, we are using less and less stone per layer, but then again, as we go up, we're also doing 2 to 3 high per layer. So we'll have to work it out and see how much more stone we need. I think we'll just use what we have in the chest today and try and work from there. Okay, so as it's gone nighttime again, I am going to jump back over here and place down some more clay, wait for this nighttime to finish up, and then we can do some more work. Okay, so some more work has been done over here during the night. As you can see, I've now got this section all filled in, and this is exactly what I was saying last time, that I just like to kind of get in and fill out all of these corners first, and then that leaves me with some big square open areas that I can then fill in quickly and easily, because it's a lot easier to fill in these type of square areas than it is to fill in anything that involves a curve. So now I'm going to jump back over here, and as you can see, we are definitely going to need a brand new way in and out of this place, because right now we're just kind of jumping over the top of the pieces of the volcano that we've already made, just over there with that little step that I've got set up. But that's not going to work forever, because that's going to be a very, very big staircase to get out the top of the volcano. So what I'm thinking is that when we move over here and we start working on our brand new portal room, we're actually going to dig a kind of tunnel from the bottom down here, out that way, and then have it branch off left and right and come up to the surface. Now this tunnel will also be quite useful because we can then hook up the tunnel over towards this guy over here and actually be able to get to the tutorial island easier, which would be nice. It would be good to be able to get down there and get over to the tutorial island without jumping and taking lots of damage every time. Obviously, we do, like I said before, we do need to clear that island up, and I'm going to keep saying that until I actually get through and do that, because it is going to keep bugging me every time I look at this thing. But, oh, I love looking at this. Look, it's going to be amazing when this thing gets done and we have the entire volcano in place. I love the shape that this thing is creating, and it's going to just get even better when we put in the rings of blindstone that we need to put in. So speaking of which, actually we should jump over and have a look at how much blindstone we do have left. I'm pretty sure we have nearly a chest over here to work with, which would be good. So yeah, we've got nearly a chest because I've got a little bit here in my inventory which I've been using obviously to build these sections up. But I'm not so sure that this is going to be enough. There's a few thousand in there, but that's still a very, very big build for only a few thousand blindstone. But that's okay, we're going to work on that a little bit later on. I think today we're definitely going to go through and do this portal room. I think that's the next idea that I want to get done for this place, just so that I'm not penning myself in by completing the volcano and then not being able to get down into this area here. So I want to clear out this little bit down here, and I'll see you when that hits the bottom level down there. So there we go. The hole is now dug and it is down to the base level down here, which is perfect. So this, like I said, is going to be some form of cave system in, down, around the bottom here. So the next thing I really want to do is kind of carve out a cave mouth here and push it all the way back out to past the volcano. So we want to go kind of run a cave system all the way down here, and then after we get past this point we want to kind of arc up towards the surface and hopefully have a cave mouth somewhere around here. Now this is going to be a little bit difficult because of course I've just kind of built over top of the existing island, so the existing island isn't going to be big enough in some areas to accommodate what I'm trying to do here. That's kind of okay, because I'm actually going to be building this cave by hand almost. I'm going to be knocking out all of the orange stone that exists and placing back in brownstone and blindstone and potentially some merkstone as well. I have a little bit of that from some of the adventures I have been running previously. So yeah, that's the plan, is to knock out a bit of a cave entrance here. And we're really going to try and go as organic as we possibly can with this. So everything is going to be a little bit off and lopsided, and you know, we're going to have stalagmites and stalactites and all sorts of stuff kind of built up in this cave. And just, yeah, make it look like it's actually a naturalist formation that has happened into the rock here. So I'm going to carve this thing back, and then once we've got a bit of a shape going, I'll show you that. And then, like I said, once we've got a shape going, I am going to want to come into here and change all of this stone out for the stone types that I want in there. We're also probably going to change up the floor down around here. We're probably going to put some gravel in or something along those lines just to kind of fill this place out a little bit. Yeah, so it's time for me to get some pickaxes out like this and start digging this cave out, and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so this tunnel is coming along quite nicely actually. So like I said, it's supposed to be somewhat of a cave. So I've just basically been kind of going ham and just attacking things with the pickaxes, not really following any kind of order or pattern, just kind of letting blocks fall where they will. I'm trying my hardest to kind of keep some stalagmites and stalactites and things hanging down. And I did have the plan of trying to kind of swap all of these blocks out. So take all of the edge blocks that you can see and swap them over for the earthstone or the blindstone or the merkstone or whatever. But having looked at this, I really like the natural stone texture in amongst all of these things. And if you have a look at this, it does look very cave-like and natural. So I think I might leave it as is for now. I've also been experimenting a little bit with kind of throwing down some strips of gravel as well, just putting a bit of gravel here, there, and everywhere, and I think that works quite well too. So in the end, I think what we're going to do is we're going to kind of tunnel through the natural stone, natural coral stone that's here, and make caves and systems and stuff out of that. And then when I get to the points where I'm actually running out of island to make caves and tunnels and systems and stuff through, I will end up kind of building around the edges of that with clay and gravel, and I might throw some earthstone in, but it will be small veins of earthstone, I think. Just kind of, it will give it that brown touch to it, but I don't want to have too much in there because, as you can see when I place blocks down, they get that brick texture coming up. And so, I don't know, that brick texture personally just doesn't quite fit with this system. So that one's not too bad, you can barely see the lines, but if we had a whole run of it, you could definitely see that that's not really supposed to be there. So, like I said, I'm going to try and avoid that as much as possible. It is going to be a little bit hot. It would be nice if we could actually place the stone in its natural formation, but at the moment that's not a possibility, so we're just going to have to work with what we have. Also, these light sources I have around the place aren't going to stay all that long. This is just me kind of throwing some light down to make sure that I can see what I'm doing as I'm carving this place out, because when I can't see, I get stuff like this. I get very square pad areas that I'm trying to avoid, basically. So I'm going to get my pickaxes back out and keep going with this, and I'll put you back in once we've passed here and we start making our way up towards the surface area. So the cave has been completed now. You can just see out the other end there just a little glimpse of sunlight. That's because it actually makes it all the way to the surface. So I also removed all of the torches, so you can't really see what's going on in here too much. I will be fixing this. I think I'm going to light this entire place up with rustwood torches or braziers and things made with rustwood, just so we get a bit of a red glow going on around here. And as you can see, I've kind of roughed the edges out and made small little kind of cave pockets, and there's lots of little stalagmites and stalactites and things just kind of all over the place around in here. I've also got this little piece where I've actually left in the metal that was floating around in the island anyway, just kind of left it as a bit of a feature of the cave. And this is one of the other reasons why I'm not going to be replacing any of these natural stone blocks with the colors that I originally intended, because this looks really awesome and I wouldn't be able to get that with my own materials. It just won't happen. One thing I am going to change though is eventually this entire ceiling in here is going to come out, and I'm going to replace the entire ceiling in with clay. In fact, all of the sand that's around the edges here is going to come out and be replaced with clay. That's definitely one of the next plans that I want to get done and dusted. But it's probably not going to happen this episode. I think that will be a next episode thing that we can do. I've got big plans for the next episode, but that's definitely one that we can fit in amongst all of the bits and pieces that I want to do. So I still don't have a way down over here yet. I will eventually get that going. As you can see, down in this little cave area that I built up, there is a slightly bigger section. So this is the slightly bigger section in under here. And this is going to feature caves going off in these other two directions as well. But these are going to have smaller entrances so that you kind of can see the portal and head straight on through to the portal, because I want this to be the main focus, and then off of here there'll be kind of a full cave system. It might get a little labyrinthy, but I don't really mind. I think that's going to look quite cool. It's going to, yeah, go out in all directions, and we'll have caves that lead to and from all sorts of rooms and places that I want to go on this island, and definitely in particular the tutorial island over the other side there, because that's one of the things that I really need to get access to pretty soon. And now that this little cave is in, I can definitely add a little bit more cave into the system so that I can get over there nice and easily. Anyway, for now, this is pretty much done, this cave. Like I said, I might want to light that up, but that will happen later on as well. I've got a few other bits and pieces I want to do this episode. However, there is one big pressing thing that I really, really want to do, and that is this volcano out here. I mean, this thing is going to be absolutely massive and so amazing. However, at the moment, it is still less than half complete, and I've just been kind of looking around on the forums and things and realized that August, which is when the next wipe is coming, is only a few weeks away. So I really want to get this done now so that at least I'll have the volcano up and running for the start, like before the wipe, before the start of Alpha 5. That's definitely a plan that I want to accomplish. So I might actually even just time-lapse this one. I'm going to go grab my camera account, grab some stone and my circle generator, and then just start placing a whole bunch of blocks. And I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so I'm actually going to stop here. I know that I had planned to make it all the way to the top of the volcano today. However, if I look in my rucksack right now, you can see that I am running pretty short on stone here. I've only got almost 7 stacks left, and I've just run the calculations that I need to complete the top of this thing, the last 10 layers that I've got up there, and I'm going to need 14 and a bit stacks. So I think I'm going to stop it here for now. I'm also kind of running out of time to record this episode too, which is slightly problematic. So yeah, I'm going to stop it here, and then we're going to finish this thing off and carve out this little island at the start of next episode. We have some very big plans for next episode, actually. As I kind of mentioned earlier, I've been collecting up some iron and all of that kind of stuff, and been turning it into iron blocks so that I can build some statues, and that's the plan for next episode, is to get 2 very giant statues done. And as you can see, this thing is looking really good from in here especially. It's starting to look a lot more closed in, which is really cool. And yeah, we've only got a few layers left. We've only got 10 rings, which are a few layers deep each left to go. So I've actually set this little area up because I got a donation of a fair few stacks of iron from Chris Zoo and I had to turn it all into blocks. So if I go into my block chest here, you can see that I've got 3 and a bit stacks of iron blocks. So that's going to be next episode. We're going to look into all of this kind of stuff and start building up some very, very giant iron statues. So we've got a lot done today and this episode. I know we didn't actually get out and do an adventure, but unfortunately I want to really press on and get this volcano done and dusted because, like I said, the wipe is coming and it will probably be within a month or so, I'd say. So I really want to finish this place off before all of that stuff happens. So the next 3 or 4 episodes are going to be me really powering through the building and getting lots and lots done in a particular episode, just because, like I said, I really, really am keen to get this place all done and dusted before that wipe happens. So yeah, that's it from me for today. Yeah, like I said, join in next time where we're actually going to be building the top of this thing and then also getting started on some very, very giant iron statues. I'll see you then.